Coming up in today's programme,
we go live to Preston Crown Court for the latest on the Nigel Evans trial.
And I'm in Lytham now, where arrests were made as part of the Home Office campaign to capture illegal immigrants working in Lancashire.
And do you know how much salt is in your food?
It was just cheaper to just get some chips with a bit of red salt and just have junk food instead of making like home-cooked food.
we'll be looking at the dangerous levels of salt the region is consuming.
Good afternoon and welcome to North West News at 2:45. I'm Ben Ward.
And I'm Samantha House. The trial of South Ribble MP Nigel Evans has been continuing at Preston Crown Court today. The former Speaker of the House of Commons is standing trial accused of numerous sexual allegations, all of which he's denying.
Well, Robbie Dawson is live at Preston Crown Court now. So, after 15 days, what progress has been made in the trial today, Robbie?
Now then, there was some interesting developments today as the court heard transcripts from police interviews taken with Nigel Evans last year. One of the statements said that Nigel Evans did admit having sexual contact with one of the accusers, but says it was consensual and he will be staggered to be arrested for it. The prosecution alleges that the former Commons Speaker committed rape to the 22-year-old man at his home in Pendle. Now, Ben, the biggest development today is that John Bercow, the current Speaker of the House of Commons, allegedly knew of these allegations at the time, but did not investigate them. However, he believed it was a police matter. I must remind you that Nigel Evans denies all charges put before him and that the trial will continue to its 16th day tomorrow.
Thanks, Robbie. Police are cracking down on illegal immigrants that are working within Lancashire.
The Home Office carried out operations over the weekend to capture illegal workforce employed by local takeaways and shops. Jana Bukalovska has more.
At least 6 arrests have been made in Blackpool, Bolton and Lytham restaurants and shops, where businesses are now facing financial penalties of over £150,000 in total. In Lytham, border police officers raided the Red Fort restaurant, where they tackled 2 men, originally from Bangladesh, for allegedly overstaying their visas. Customers here witnessed 2 men trying to escape the border police by jumping over a wall at the back of the restaurant. If found to be without proper paperwork, they could be deported. Lancashire Immigration Enforcement Team Assistant Director Karen McDonough said that these arrests will act as a stark warning to anyone in Lancashire who's in the UK illegally. He urged members of the public with information about suspected immigration abuse to get in touch. He also said that employers who use illegal labour are defrauding the taxpayer, undercutting genuine employers and denying legitimate job hunters work. The businesses will be served notices warning that a civil penalty of up to £10,000 per illegal worker found will be imposed, unless proof is provided that the correct right to work checks were carried out.
People in the region are being cautioned about the food that they consume on a daily basis.
This time we're being advised to lower our salt intake. Chelsea Wood has been looking at the hidden dangers in everyday food.
Across the region, we are being warned about the food we eat and more specifically how much salt we consume.
Health experts in Lancashire are warning people of the health risks involved with eating too much salt, such as high blood pressure or a stroke. So they're saying we should eat more of these rather than these.
The food we think is low in salt often isn't, and although food labels are colour-coded, we still seem to be eating the wrong stuff. Despite the warnings, people in Preston don't think they eat over the recommended 6 grams a day.
No, I don't, but I don't take a lot of salt, but I have to have salt on potatoes because they're just tasteless. Yeah, no, I like salt.
I don't really need it. I think there's enough salt comes from the food itself, so you know, I don't really overdose on salt.
I only allow myself to eat chips once a week, and I use salt on my chips. But apart from that, I don't use salt at all. I don't, because I'm aware that it's packed into other foods and it's already a part of daily intake.
If you want to reduce your salt intake, you're probably best staying away from these foods. Chelsea Wood, North West News, Preston.
Shale gas firm Quadrilla has said that fracking will not be carried out at a site in Lancashire.
The company has not confirmed why they've pulled out of the Beaconsall Wells site, but have asked Lancashire County Council to extend their planning permission. They say this is to carry out pressure tests in the area and that they will only be done in a week.
This comes as good news to the protesters surrounding Quadrilla's facilities, who were concerned that the high-pressure gas extraction would possibly cause earthquakes and other environmental damage.
Now we go over to Jack Brain for more stories from around the region.
Thank you, Sally. Police have launched an appeal after a man went missing in Preston last Friday. Martin Lucas was last seen near his home on Fishergate Hill at around 10 p.m. It is believed he left during the night. He suffers from a medical condition and the police are becoming increasingly concerned for his welfare. They are urging anyone with information to contact them on 101. More traffic misery is set to strike at the Broughton roundabout only a few months after it was revamped. Resurfacing work will be carried out in April after materials which were supplied during its recent improvements were faulty and the surface has already begun to deteriorate. A campaign has been launched to encourage more girls to become plumbers. 2,000 consumers took part in a poll by WaterSafe, with results showing that 2 in 5 homeowners in the North West would prefer a female plumber to do work in their home, and it was time traditional stereotypes were broken. Alarmingly, recent figures show that less than 1% of plumbers in the UK are female. Preston is just that bit closer to getting its first casino in almost half a century. Council officers have given the thumbs up to the site on Guildhall Street, which was the former city's Conservative club. The city's planning committee is expected to give a green light to the application this week in the hope that the town will get a high-class gambling venue. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jack. A mother from Burnley has welcomed the news that a vaccine against meningitis B will be available for free on the NHS.
There are nearly 2,000 cases of the disease every year in the UK. Rob Watson has been to see the effect the vaccine will have on the region's parents.
Jessica Bell from Burnley was just 15 months old when she was diagnosed with meningitis B strain. Her mum Laura was part of a campaign to ensure a revolutionary vaccine would be made available on the NHS.
I was gone maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then when I got onto the ward, my sister was just on her knees screaming and crying in corridor, she's dying, she's dying. And then when you hear about, you know, Jessica's one of the lucky ones, she's got all her limbs, she's got brain damage, but it's nothing that's gonna, you know, massively hold her back. But there's kids out there that, you know, they're gonna need prosthetics every year when they're growing. So the cost-effective argument to me weren't an argument. You're doing really well with that now,
aren't you? The campaign has been successful, and the NHS will now offer the meningitis B vaccine. But not everyone is happy about it. The Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation initially rejected the vaccine, saying that it wasn't cost-effective. Christine Hughes is from the charity Meningitis Now.
It is that every person that has meningitis, majority of them are left with some sort of after effects. You know, a person who's lost their limbs to meningitis can cost the NHS quite a few £1 million over their lifespan. So, you know, it's not a case of you recover from the disease. People do have after effects which then go on to cost the NHS, the education service, a lot of money in terms of education. Children who've got brain damage, specialist schools. So, you know, the cost really should not be a factor in this.
Of course, not all families are as lucky as this one, but with a successful TV and modelling career in the offing, there's a bright future ahead for Jessica Bell.
And you were watching North West News.
Rob Watson, North West News, Burnley.
We'd like to hear your comments on that story, so please email, tweet or Facebook or comment on our Facebook. Royal Mail has announced they will be cutting 1,600 jobs across the UK.
The firm says that people should see the positive side of 300 new jobs being created as a result, and that no frontline employees will be included in the sackings.
In the last 6 months, Northwest has seen some investment, with 250 new jobs in Manchester and the opening of a £75 million depot in Chorley.
Over to Alex Burks now with the latest sports news from around the region. A big night at Old Trafford then for Man United, Alex.
It is indeed. It's the second Manchester derby of the season as United host City at Old Trafford. After beating their rivals 4-1 back in September, City still have a chance of succeeding United as Premier League champions. Manager Manuel Pellegrini has played down the game, stating that it is no more important than any other.
I don't think that we have more important games one from another. I think that we have 11 important games, and if we if we win more points than the other teams, we can win the title.
United manager David Moyes believes that his side will go into the game high on confidence after successive wins against Olympiacos and West Ham.
You can see that we're playing better and there's a bit more belief coming back, so we have to try and keep showing that if we can, and we'll go into that game. We'll just recover from this one. You know, it's a quick turnaround. We'll recover and get ourselves ready for Tuesday night.
Elsewhere in the Premier League, Everton travel to Newcastle looking to keep the pressure on the top four sides. Roberto Martinez's men are currently 6th in the table, and the manager believes his side's away form needs to improve if they are to qualify for the Champions League.
What's important is that we carry on with the incredible return of points that we have in our home form. You're looking at the last 6 home games that have given us full points. That is a terrific run, and that's important that we take that into the away form.
And there's plenty of local interest in the Football League tonight. In the Championship, promotion-chasing Burnley face Doncaster at Turf Moor, and Blackpool make the short trip to Bolton in a Lancashire derby at the Reebok. Oldham, Preston, Bury and Accrington are all in action in Leagues 1 and 2. The World Snooker Grand Final returns to Preston's Guildhall today. It's the first time the event has been held in Preston for 9 years, and the world's top players such as Ronnie O'Sullivan and John Higgins will compete there for the top prize of £100,000. O'Sullivan has fond memories of the venue after he won his first ever tournament there in 1993, becoming the youngest ever winner of a major snooker title. Chorley's Laura Massaro has won the Squash World Championships in Malaysia. She became the first Englishwoman to win the title since 1999 after winning the final in Penang. England now have 2 squash champions for the first time after Nick Matthew won the men's title in Manchester in November.
Thank you, Alex. Now, over to the weather. So, will you be bringing us any more glorious sunshine, Mona, or am I being optimistic?
I'm so sorry, guys, but after yesterday's sunshine, it's a pretty poor day ahead for most of us. Rather grey and cloudy skies. Outbreaks of rain around as well, although the weather may start to ease, with some drier spells in the afternoon. Winds will also be light with a maximum temperature of 10 degrees. Rain will slowly ease during the course of the night, leaving most places bright by morning. Winds will stay light and temperatures will fall close to freezing. But it's not all that bad news. The outlook for the week ahead is mostly dry and sunny, but a few showers are possibly later in the afternoon. Alondra tweeted, "Warm weather, where are you?" And Emily responded, "Everybody tweets about the weather, but nobody does anything about it." John has said, "The wet weather has ruined his geography class field trip." Join our conversation on Twitter using the hashtag #NorthwestWeather. And don't forget to visit our website for more weather updates.
Where would you say Rivington Pike is, Ben?
Well, I think it could be in Bolton, Sammy, but I've got a feeling you're going to tell me it's elsewhere.
Well, there's been a little bit of controversy after the landmark was lit up red to put Chorley on the map. Alex Black has been to find out where exactly Rivington Pike is.
A light on the pike was an ancient call to arms, but tonight Rivington Pike will be lit red as a call to business for Chorley. Chorley Council has been lighting the tower red every weeknight to show exactly what Chorley has to offer.
I think there was something like 50,000 people talking about it on Twitter on Monday night. It's getting people talking whether or not they're riding home from work, and all over the country it's gone on the news, and it's been a really positive thing as well. And also it's made a big thing of Rivington as well, which is a big landmark in Chorley too.
But is it really in Chorley? People in Horwich might disagree. The tower was gifted to Bolton by William Lever in 1902, but became part of Chorley Borough when the boundaries changed in 1973. But even people in Rivington don't seem quite sure where it is that they live.
People say, "Oh, well, I live in Bolton, I've got a BL postcode." I said, I said Rivington Pike is in Chorley Borough. It's Bolton. I said, it's not, it's Chorley,
But wherever it is, it's certainly got people talking about the town. Alex Black, Northwest News.
Don't forget you can keep up to date with all the latest news, sports and weather by visiting our website or by following us on Twitter or Facebook. And that's it for now. You've been watching Northwest News. Goodbye.
What the hell is going on?